Story 1. A can opener that doesn't actually open the cans. It just latches onto the can and goes around and around while you turn it, hoping it will eventually work.
Way too many of my can openers have become can openers.
And it always pinches your hand when you try to squeeze it, so it'll latch onto the can.
Story 2. Everything is locked up with one of those buttons that says, push for a service member. But the store only has 1 or 2 service members, and they are all obnoxious, super talkative, and overly happy. Oh, and when it comes to alcohol, they have to bring it to the register, and you can pay for it when you're ready. Oh wait, this is Target in San Francisco.
The button just alerts them that you still have hope.
Also, the team member who responds doesn't have the key to unlock the items and must call for someone who does, only to wait an additional 30 minutes for them to show up.
I went to CVS in Philly like that and just walked right back out. It wasn't worth the hassle to buy anything when I needed multiple items that were locked up.
Story 3. I bought a box cutter from a convenience store yesterday. There were no blades included. I went back to buy some and was told that they don't stock them. Does that count? Story 4. Chuckles. A spatula that you never use, but only exists to keep the drawer it's in from opening. Story 5. You can find the milk on the roof, sir, and you're gonna have to milk the cows to get it. Chuckles.
Is this where those people get raw milk? Is it self-serve? Bring your own bottle? Do the brown ones give chocolate milk? I need to know where this place is located.
Story 6. Kid's piano, but the batteries are dead. The little screw to get to the battery compartment is stripped, and your toddler really wants to play with that fucking piano. Story 7. Single AA batteries. Milk that expires tomorrow. Warm slushies. Toilet paper sold in tiny packs like travel Kleenex. Individual sheets. I was thinking about saying, cigarettes sold only individually, but having worked in a liquor store, people would 100% buy a single cigarette for 50 cents. Chuckles. Story 8. Everything I want and need. Locked in glass cases. And the only employee is on a permanent smoke break somewhere.
And that employee doesn't even have the key.
Story 9. The exact thing you were looking for. But it wasn't at any other store. You have to drive out to the Inconvenience store to get your thing. Story 10. It has everything you're looking for, but the whole store is organized by color instead. Story 11. Only one checkout register. The cashier failed 3rd grade math. 37 people in line in front of you, and 5 of them are paying with unrolled coins. Story 12. You can't get there. It's a left turn across 3 lanes of heavy 70 miles per hour traffic. Story 13. Individually packaged M&Ms. They also have a big bulk bin full of jigsaw puzzle pieces. You scoop some out, pay by weight, and hope you can make something when you get home. Story 14. You walk in and it's exactly like a convenience store, except everything is engineered to shave a tiny piece off your soul. The door sticks just enough to make you look weak in public. The basket has one wheel that screams. The aisle is always 1 person wide, and there's always a guy doing a full inventory of gum like he's choosing a life partner. Chuckles prices are all $4.99, but the tax is a surprise boss fight. The card reader only accepts tap if you hold your phone at a 37-degree angle and whisper an apology. The receipt prints anyway 11 feet long and it's slightly wet. The cold drinks are room temperature, the hot food is emotionally warm, and the bathroom key is a cinder block labeled customer that you have to carry like a medieval punishment. Story 15. A teenager who needs you to buy them a poster board the night before their project is due. Story 16. Batteries that have already been used, but you don't know how much is left in them. Story 17. Nothing is actually organized. Stuff is stored haphazardly and randomly, and price tags often fall off or become mixed. The Skittles packets always contain only your least favorite flavor. Story 18. Slow food. Slow stew. A box containing an onion, a carrot, a stalk of celery, a hunk of meat, and a quart of water. Slow pizza. Flour, water, yeast, hunk of meat, spices, pig intestines, pepperoni instructions, milk, rennet, cheese recipe. Story 19. Cans of soda with no tabs. packs of juice boxes with no straws, 60 grit toilet paper, fireproof matches. Story 20. It's a pun on a convenience store, where everything is supposed to make life easier. An inconvenience store would make life, well, inconvenient. Chuckles. Story 21. Go to the store. The item is out of stock, but it says it's in stock on the website. So order it online. Get the item. It breaks. Return it to the store? No, you must send it through United Parcel Service to the online distribution center. The refund shows up 3 months later.
Chuckles, our motto. Maximum effort, minimum results.
Story 22. The front entrance has a lit green open sign below the store name on the building. Inside, a one-way escalator descends to corridors leading to glass doors with a view of the store immediately inside. The doors are locked. On a tag on the door handle, it says, Customer Entry Behind Building. Story 23. A match without the box, a Chupa Chups lolly, nail polish, but all of it is old and gloopy. Shoes with no soles. Story 24. Kits to make things like a car air freshener kit, a homemade lighter kit, an ice cream churn and seeds to grow your choice of fruit flavoring, a still, bundles of tobacco paired with rolling papers, some potatoes, oil, and salt. Story 25. Money. Chuckles. The number of times I'd be cleaning the parking lot, sweeping inside, and finding bills on the floor, more often than you'd think. Story 26. Super tight aisles with hooks coming out in odd places to catch on your clothing. Story 27. You have to call an automated customer service to check out, and they only have one phone. Story 28. An uneven amount of hot dog buns, a half-empty or half-full beverage, a bag of chips not completely eaten. To ensure that whoever eats it has to be the one to throw it away. Story 29. Television remote controls that have a volume up button but no way to lower it, no sleep function button, and no off button. This leaves you having to get out of bed to turn it off or lower the volume when you want to sleep. Story 30. Reinforced, tear-resistant toilet paper, hydrophobic shampoo, limp toothpicks, bottomless drinking glass, giant spoons, extremely wide forks, misting shower head, waterproof towels, dinner plates that are convex-shaped on both sides, sunglasses rated for welding protection. Chuckles. Story 31. A spot to sell or cash in lottery tickets, right in the same exact place where everyone pays for their items. Story 32. No price tags on anything, and the receipt printer only uses the end of the roll and ran out of ink 8 years ago. Story 33. Please stay on the line and listen to the full menu, as our selections have changed. If your car warranty has expired, please press 1. If you are calling to claim your free 3-night vacation to a destination of your choice, please press 2. If you need, please press 7. For assistance with, please press trails off. Story 34. The scissors are zip-tied to the package, so you'll need another pair of scissors or a knife to cut it open. Story 35. Flat pack furniture with missing parts. The bicycle of your dreams, except it has a flat tire. Story 36. A bunch of shit I could get online for half the price without even leaving my house. Wait a minute. Story 37. A universal TV remote without a battery cover. Or a store that only takes pennies. Story 38. A minimum purchase requirement when paying with a debit card. So now you wish you had gone to a regular store because they made you waste $5 on something you didn't need. Story 39. I don't know what you would find, but the store would be open 24 hours, just not in a row. Chuckles. Story 40. These already exist, and they are the Transportation Security Administration. They take your convenient sharp things, make sure you don't have enough comfy clothes, sunscreen, nope, gone. Lotion for when it's dry as fuck. Too bad it's 3.7 ounces. Story 41. For starters, on your way inside the shop, you would find an inconvenient knob or door handle to catch your sleeve on as you walk by. Story 42. You wouldn't find anything. You'd just keep tripping on things that aren't actually there. Story 43. The guy in front of you is always buying a specific Rillo, a scratch-off ticket, and an obscure brand of cigarettes that the cashier gets flustered searching for while the customer tries to describe the pack. He then scratches off only the barcode section of the scratch-off and demands to scan the ticket. Story 44. A water fountain that has a little trickle of water most of the time, and then shoots up with a bunch of pressure to get your pants wet and then back to a trickle. Story 45. Furniture that you have to put together yourself. I'm looking at you, every furniture dealer everywhere. Story 46. Enter via the fire pole to the third-level basement. Exit via the stairs only with all your purchases. Story 47. Everything we sell needs scissors to open. We sell scissors to open them, but they also need scissors to open. Story 48. Wedgie undies, that's relaxing. The jock pulled my undies over my head, and I was feeling it all the time. Story 49. Scissors, but the blades are fastened together with a zip tie that you need scissors to open. Cans of soda without pop-tops. Boxes of broken cookies and crackers. Some people don't care if their cracker is broken, but my toddler sure as heck does. Story 50. Everything comes in cans that are designed to make any can opener, manual or electric, slip off every few turns. Story 51. Feminine hygiene products, dick pills, condoms, and so on will be in a locked case on the floor. You'll need to push a button, which announces over the intercom, customer needs assistance in the feminine hygiene, dick pill, or condom section. Chuckles. Story 52. Gasoline pre-portioned in 5-gallon cans with very short spouts. Paper funnels for $5, plastic funnels for $20. Story 53. Every single expiration date is almost legible. Is that December 2025 or 2026? Story 54. The credit card machine has ads with a tiny little X to close them. When you press the X, it sends you directly to Google Play or Amazon for the item that was being advertised. Story 55. Shoelaces with a loose weave that stretches to the thickness of kite string, and aglets that break off easily. Story 56. Boxes and boxes of cereal with the prizes already dug out of them by someone who never washes their hands. Story 57. A package for a pair of AA batteries, one missing. Still on the shelf hook for $9.99. Story 58. Shampoo that gives you dandruff. I once had dandruff so bad my scalp was bleeding. Turns out I was allergic to Head and Shoulders shampoo. Story 59. Being out of stock on things you want to buy, or having to get someone to unlock a cabinet to get the item you want. Walmart. Story 60. The entire floor is slightly slanted, and the lower end is sticky or otherwise dirty. If you drop something that will roll, it'll roll to the other end of the store and be really icky when you go to pick it up. Oh, and they don't have any wipes or sanitizer or a bathroom where you could clean it. Story 61. There's no consistent organization or layout, just a maze of unlabeled shelves. Also, it changes weekly. Story 62. Soda bottles with no cap. Just one piece of plastic you have to pierce with a knife to get into. Story 63. Every time you buy a pack of pastries, the clerk behind the counter eats half. Every bag of chips is crushed into powder. All the beer is 5 years past expiration. The clerk running the counter is illiterate. They don't sell packs of cigarettes, only singles for the same price as a pack. The only legal tender they accept is dimes. The candy is sealed with thick plastic and aeronautical adhesives. The ATM spits out your withdrawals in coins. Story 64. Something that pushes out anything in your hands. Slurpee containers with no lids. Bags of ice that melt before you get home. Chip bags with open bottoms. No Apple Pay. Warm beer. No coffee crime. Well, that's inconvenient. Story 65. One with almost no staff and only a self-checkout machine that makes lots of errors and takes ages. Story 66. 5 members of staff all chatting at the far end of the counter, ignoring you, then looking at you with utter contempt for daring to press the ring for service button. Happened to me yesterday. Story 67. Batteries that are only sold in 3-packs for devices that require 4. Scissors that are encased in that impenetrable hard plastic packaging that requires a pair of scissors to open. Single-ply toilet paper that's perforated every 4 feet instead of every 4 inches. And the cherry on top, A push sign on a door that only opens by pulling, and the handle is covered in a mysterious, slightly sticky substance. It's not a store. It's a psychological experiment designed to test the limits of human patience. Story 68. USB cables that only fit on the third try. Wet socks sold in pairs. Tangled earbuds that are somehow already knotted in the packaging. A clock that's always 3 minutes off. And every shopping cart has that one wobbly wheel. Story 69. Food that's out of date. A clamshell packaging opener encased in clamshell packaging. Puzzle books that are already solved. Story 70. Everything is in a display case that you need an employee to open for you to obtain the item you're looking for. Then that item is actually a display item that you bring to the cashier to exchange for the real item, only to find out they are out of that item anyway. Story 71. Gallons of milk on their second-to-last use-by date, with child-proof and tamper-proof bottle caps.